Hey everyone, welcome to our daily gratitude and affirmation walk. We are doing an evening walk this time, and no deer yet. We will find them. I'm looking out into the fields. Don't see any, but look at that. How beautiful is that? Zoom in for you guys. Isn't that cool? Oh look, there's a bird flying. Kind of see it right to it's about to go off screen on the left. There we go, it's flying. Or how close I can zoom up. Wow, there we go. Vulture. All right, start the animal count. Vulture, 1. I mean, I guess it's more of a bird, but you know. A living thing. 1. Oh, how cool is that? Coming to check us out, you know? Look at how he can just glide on the air. Oh, I almost lost him. There we go. How cool. All right. So, sunset, vulture. Number 1 gratitude. The fact that I'm outside. I had an interesting day today. So, second gratitude is I am so grateful that I got to sleep in. I slept in, I think, till almost 9:30, which I never do. I definitely needed it. Feeling a little bit more put together today. And what are we even on? 3. Okay, so third gratitude, I give myself an easy morning. I've been feeling very energetically off, so I decided, you know what? We're going to do some stuff. I'm just going to relax here, sleep in. I put no expectations on myself, which was really nice. And then number 4, so went to therapy. It went really well today. And I actually it's going to be tied to the message today, so I won't really talk about what happened in session, but I'll bring it up later when we're doing the daily message. Okay, so, and I think we're on 4, but she gave me this cute little circular rock that she found on a beach in Jersey, and it's got moon-ish vibes to it. At least it feels like it's got moonish vibes to it. So, and I'm not seeing any deer for you guys today. You know what? I bet you they're in the other place. It is, I don't know what happened. It was really nice out today. I feel like it was in the 80s. I was walking around without a jacket on. It was nice. So, okay. Where are we on? Number 5. Okay, so after my therapy session, I'm looking for some sort of body oil. I really am trying to find sweet almond oil. I used to have some, but I decided to throw out a lot of my oils because they were, just older, and over time, oils break down. So I really want some more sweet almond oil, but I haven't found a shop that sells it without other stuff in it. No deer yet. So that's what I was doing downtown. I went there is a rock shop that is in the very heart of the downtown where I live near. And I usually don't go in there, but it's probably one of the oldest rock shops within the area. But I went in today. I don't usually find a lot of stuff there, but it was nice just to go in and look. I went into a soap shop, but all the smells were making me kind of nauseous. So then after that, I went into this other, it's like a crystal shop, but it had some metaphysical stuff in it. I was like, well, maybe they'll have some sort of oil. But I ended up spending, I was probably in there an hour. Why, you might ask? Well, you see, number 5 is the shop owner had the cutest little doggo. His name was Max, and I think he was, I don't know, 2 months old, 5 months old, something like that. 2 months doesn't really sound right. Maybe he was 5 months. Anyways, he was a puppy, and he was the cutest little, sweetest little boy. And so I was sitting there on the floor, like, playing with him, and I did end up getting a few things. So I ended up buying a fairy stone for somebody, I don't know, last week before. But the shop that I usually buy them from, they used to have the bigger stones, and I wish that I had gotten a bigger stone when they still had them, because they haven't had them since. And so this shop has some, so I was like, cool, I'm going to get some. So I got 2 fairy stones, and then I got a spherical hematite, which when you polish that, it's like really shiny, kind of looks like liquid silver in like a black stone. It's pretty cool. So I got a sphere of that. Then of course, you guys know, adventuring. Ooh, flock of birds. Sorry guys, too slow. I'm also holding my headphones in one hand, so inhibits my movement. But you guys already know I like some adventuring, so I got some green adventuring. Got a 1 stone, and then I don't usually get red jasper, but there was 1 stone, the adventuring and the jasper. I wasn't looking for them. I didn't really need them, but they just wanted to come with me, so I was like, all right, guess I'm buying you. First red jasper stone that I actually wanted to pick up, and it wasn't heavy. There's something about the actual physicality of red jasper. When you pick it up, it is like very densely weighted. So, and a lot of times it's like way too grounded for me. But, you know, got all of that. And then, so that's number 5. Went to the shop, played with the cute little doggo. I'm going to leave what else I did at that shop for number 10. Okay, so after that shop, number 6, I went to my other frequent rock spot, and I got like tiny stuff, like a couple tubbled stones of snake agate from China, and I got 2 tiny like towers of prehnite. And then, wow, the woods are really still today for some reason. And then, what else did I get? I think that was it. Oh, and I got 1 thing that I'm going to give to somebody, because they're going to start working with wood, like out in nature. So I'm curious to see if this will help. So that was everything I got. And then I was really looking for some kunzite. I didn't remember if the shop had any or not. They didn't, so I'll probably look online for that. Or there's a dealer that I met at the last Gem and Mineral show that I went to, and they said that they had a store in Fairfax, and to message them if I wanted to come by, because, you know, some things got really pushed to the side because of life, but I have stock of crystals and minerals that I'm going to be planning on selling here soon. So I do have my license to sell them, so I can buy at wholesale prices as well. All right, no deer, no bunnies. I'm like not really having a lot of luck with the buns. Okay, so that was number 6. Went to my other shop. Really fun. Number 7 for the day. So right after this call, I'm going to call my aunt, because we have things to talk about. And I feel like we're using each other as like sounding boards. So we're both very gifted. And so we like talk about like what's going on for us. And then between the 2 of us, like, we'll get stuff that comes up. And so lately I feel like my spiritual gifts have kind of been dampered a little bit, intentionally. There's something in my personal life, the thing that I was having difficulty with earlier this week, that's been up for me. And with that, I'm just solely, I think, supposed to focus on that right now, which, as a number 8, I am very grateful that I did schedule Reiki session for Monday to help with that, because it's time to face that head on, and I've kind of, I think, put it off in a few ways over my life. Why is everything so still? Usually when the forest feels this still, there's like something's not right. I don't know. It definitely feels off. Not in a really bad way, though. Okay, what are we at? We're at 7. Oh, man. I'm gonna switch arms here in a second, because I've just been holding this phone with my one arm. I think 7 was calling my aunt. Okay, so number 8. I am so thankful that it's the weekend. Once I call my aunt, do my walk, I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna finally do my budget stuff for the month. And okay, now I'm gonna turn you guys and then do an awkward, that was easier than I thought. Awkward phone, earphone transition. Wow, why is everything so still? I don't know, maybe it's due to the difference in temperature. It was pretty warm earlier today, and now it's pretty cold. So, number 9. Oh, let me give you guys an update. So, number 1, grateful I'm adding stuff back into my diet. Number 2, 9.2. I'm grateful that I'm really committed to this, and I'm trying to add in one thing at a time, because first thing I added in was spinach, because, I got a bag of arugula, but it was a mixed greens bag, because, I had someone shop for me, and so I was like, all right, well, I guess spinach is the first thing I'm putting back. I don't know if it was just the first thing I was putting back, and that's why, or if my body reacts to spinach that much, or if it's a combination of things. These birds are not happy I'm here. But, I've just, man, my insides have hurt. I just feel like I was kind of bloated. Some of the other symptoms that I had, questionable, because I did eat it at different times, and at one time my nose ran, the other time it didn't. And then I had weird headaches, but I've been having weird headaches all week. I did notice that my skin was breaking out just a little bit more today. So, putting all of that together, I really don't think that I can eat spinach. And so the next thing that we're adding it, and I ended up reincorporating the GI Revive stuff last night, because I was just not feeling good. And so I'm going to incorporate butter tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping. The other question I have in my mind is, am I just going to react to every little thing that I put back into my diet, and maybe it's like a false negative, because my stomach's just sensitive to changes like that? I don't know. So what I'm going to also do is I'm going to rank them by number. Oh, there's a little squirrel in the tree. Do you see him? On the edge. He's chilling. Doesn't want to move. Alright, let's see if I can. I'm just going to leave you guys this way, in case there's deer. I don't hear anything, though. It's pretty quiet. There were, if you guys remember, some right where that white sign is. Oh, I hear something. I can't tell what which direction it's coming from, though. Anyways, here's the stream. Nothing's really going on tonight. This is interesting. Alright, we're going to continue on because my hands are a little cold. So I'm grateful that I'm figuring all of that out, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what I can eat that doesn't mess with me as I add stuff back in, and maybe there's just certain culprits that I was eating a lot of and just didn't go well with my body. The other question I have, though, especially with spinach, is, or any like salad, I don't know if I'm reacting to whatever they spray the plants with, even if it's like washed off. I just feel like that whatever chemicals that is, I'm reacting to, or even just look at the washing solution. So sometimes I get frustrated because I don't know which, would be interesting to see if like homegrown spinach, if I react to that differently too. Okay, so that's number 9. Number 10 for the day. So at my therapy session and at the crystal shop with the dog, I got 2 card readings today. So the person who I see for therapy, she knows I'm a little bit more open to those sort of things, so she just had me pull a card today, and it had a dolphin on it. And I didn't take a picture of the book, but it was essentially like going under and exploring your emotions and this and that, and like which is very true, and it's up for me right now. Okay, there's a squirrel. I won't be able to show you guys, it's a little too dark in the forest, but he's in there. And then when I was in the store, the lady who runs the shop, she was like, hey, if you're interested, there's a lady who is reading cards at the back of the shop for free. She'll pull a card. And I was like, yeah, okay, like I'm already here, like why not? Like it's already a weird day, why not? So okay, now that was super interesting because I've only had 3 people read cards for me. I'm like pretty intentional about who does, because card energy is not really like, I find it difficult to sit with that type of energy, and requires a specific person to kind of do that, and it's just it's not usually for me, it's not what I gravitate to, but if I'm feeling good about it, sometimes I let... Oh, bird flew over my head. That was cute. So, another bird. Alright, force is coming alive a little bit. And so when she pulled this card, guess what was also on this card? Dolphins. It was the 2 of Cups, but it showed like female and a male, which I thought was really funny. And then the dolphins. But okay, so she's the first person I've gone to that actually gave me a choice of which deck. She's like, here are like 6 options, like what artwork speaks to you. And I already knew, so like I pointed to it. So I think it was more of like an oracle deck than it was a tarot deck. So anyways, this card had dolphins on it. So second time today, dolphins came up. And so I told her, I was like, that's really interesting that dolphins came up. That's the second time they've come up for me today. And she goes, oh, that means something. And she goes, well, what are dolphins known for? And I was like, like, she's like, why do scientists specifically study them? And so long story short, language. And so while I was seeing it from an energetic perspective and saying like, well, like their energy and the purity of it and this and that, and like, of course, like language. Not that all animals don't communicate, but I mean, they're one of the primary ones that are studied for that. And then she gave me a name of someone. I wrote it down on my phone because I'm going to have to look her up. But then she was talking about people who are able to communicate with animals. And apparently there's this lady who's very well known because she connects and talks to animals that aren't the normal type, like raccoons or weasels, or so she's known for beavers, I guess. And I thought that was really interesting. And I was talking to her, and I was like, I've had a lot of experiences with kind of knowing what animals are feeling. But as I've done horseback riding, there's this interesting thing that's coming up where it's almost like I'm now seeing their language and like something deeper, and I haven't fully dived into that yet. I think there's some other things like what's going on in my personal life that I just need to work through, and then that's going to be the next thing. But then things come up in your life to show you which way you're supposed to go, right? Or at least to give you an option or to confirm if that is a way you would like to explore. So the whole reason why I'm saying this, and I thought it was so cool, is because then she started talking about, if the animals speak, make sure you tell the rest of us. And I was like, oh, well, I have a YouTube channel and I find the deer, and, sometimes I'm able to pick up like what they're feeling, or not necessarily saying in words, but it was an interesting moment for me because I think one of my gifts that's about to come up, that I had the foundations of, but I never really dived into, is communication with animals on a deeper level than what I have been before in my life. I've always been sensitive to animals since I was a kid, but I think this is something different. So I'm excited. It just wasn't where I was expecting to go today. But you know what? When you keep an open mind and you just kind of go through life and see what's up for you, cool things happen. So I'm excited to dive into that. And I think the dolphins too are coming up because it's something that I'm probably going to have to think about or embody when I'm in my Reiki session, or it's probably meant to help. Like I said, a lot of my gifts, a lot of my knowing and feeling and energetic attunement I feel like it's dampered right now. Not that it's gone, but it's intentionally, I feel like, being limited for me right now so I can focus on how I truly feel. Now, this is such a long segment, but hopefully someone got an interest in this, and hey, maybe as this channel progresses, we'll get some animal messages. Maybe someone else needs to hear that. So also, animals just have been really showing up in my life. They're more bold now, or the world just feels like it's kind of coming together in a really, really beautiful way. As I'm saying this, I don't know if I can get it for you, literally saw in the sky. Do you see that white streak? I'm pretty sure it's a plane heading somewhere, but it looks like this, and it's not showing up on my phone that well. It's now in the middle of my screen, but it looked like this pink. That was pretty cool. Okay, so talking with animals, number 10. But that was, I hadn't planned that for my day. I just said yes. A lot of times when you say yes, cool things happen. All right. And then I also feel like, she also gave me things. This isn't going to be the message for today because I have something different I feel like is coming up, but I'll say this anyway. So the whole part of the first session, which she explained how cards are used, which I've never heard anyone talk about them this way. I have heard people say, well, like your energy picks the card, but she was saying the first card asks you the question, and then your answer determines the next card, which could potentially answer the questions and also give you more information, and then like it's a loop. And I was like, that's fascinating. I've never heard anyone say that before. So she utilizes them very differently, or I don't know, maybe not differently. But the other thing that she was talking about with this card, before we even got into the whole dolphins and animals, was the Two of Cups. It's balance. So are you balanced with yourself? Are you balanced with things externally? And she was recommending, you know, for each person, have a mundane task that you do where you're not consuming with your eyes, your ears, your senses, and you're just sitting there in the stillness and the silence to receive and understand yourself better. Which I thought, these people are mixed. Which I thought was a really cool way of looking at it, because where are they going? Okay. You know, we think that quiet time can just be scrolling on our phones, reading a book, just being alone with ourselves, but you're still doing something that's taking your attention away from yourself. And like in true stillness, it requires you to be still as well to get any information from yourself that you need. So it's, and you know, many times people have difficulty with silence and really just sitting in stillness. It's the stillness part. But then I'm going to give you this question. What does stillness mean to you then? And, you know, a lot of times like, oh, I don't like it, it's just uncomfortable, or it's too quiet. Well, what does quiet mean to you? What does discomfort in that mean to you? What is the story that you're telling yourself? And how can you better define that so that you actually love stillness? You actually love being in the peace and quiet, and you actually love just being alone or by yourself. So a lot of times alone, stillness, quiet. Like for me, one of the things that I had to work through and still working through smaller pieces of is when I felt alone, the hard part of that was I felt very isolated. And the story of isolation to me meant isolation was a punishment growing up. So not only was it a punishment, but like for me, it just, because of how energetically sensitive I am, it also was like full loss of connection. And so it's traumatic. And it didn't feel good. And once I kind of realized that, I was like, well, but don't I deserve to feel stillness? And don't I deserve to feel comfortable with being alone? And don't I deserve to have these be positive things for myself and not traumatic and negative and stressful and anxious and depressing, or bringing about depression? And if the answer is yes, start taking steps towards there. The first is like witnessing and understanding and acknowledging and being aware. And after that, it's a matter of, well, if this was the greatest thing, if this was the greatest gift I could give myself, what would that mean? How can I redefine it? Okay, so that was like her first message and whatnot. So hopefully that resonates with somebody. I feel compelled to have said that message plus the one that I already felt compelled to share with you guys. So I think there's a few people that's going to resonate with. If you have questions, if you have any thoughts on that, you know, wanted to discuss it further, you know, please just throw your comments down below the video. We are all learning. We are in this together, and we are a supportive community. And if you guys want to go even further, this is something I do for a living. So if you're interested in mindset coaching, spiritual path, you know, whatever, spiritual journey, spiritual path, whatever that means for you, or if you want coaching on processes and systems, like I do it all. So just reach out. Website link is in the description. Okay, so the message number 2 for the day, and we haven't found the deer, but that's okay. Message number 2 for the day. So my therapy session today. I have a few things in my personal life that I'm working through that I'm just going to turn around because the cars are loud. Oh, no. I knew I was going to drop them at some point. I should be okay. So I have a couple things in my personal life that I'm working through that I would say are big losses, very challenging for me, and I'm very proud of myself. I'm doing the best I can with the situations, but it's also traumatic in the sense that it's triggered a lot of what I went through when I was growing up. And so my therapist, the amazing woman that she is, she made the connection because I was talking about how I watched myself for one of the situations kind of get erased in real time in my life. And I'm just sitting here and it was very traumatic. And she made the connection that, well, since the things that you went through when you were a child, you kind of got erased then as well. And I was like, wow, yeah, you're right. And so no wonder why this is so difficult, because I'm dealing with a very inundated and personal past cycle and situation that I wasn't fully aware of, but also it's repeating itself in my present day, and I'm having to deal with that as well. So, number 1, if you are going through something in your personal life, please recognize and give yourself grace that there's probably more going on than you realize, and you're doing the best that you can. Even if you don't think that you're doing the best that you can, reaffirm that to yourself, because you don't know how much of your energy is going to dealing with your subconscious and the things you're not even aware of. So yes, you are doing the best that you possibly can. Now, why did I bring that up about being erased? I feel very strongly about this message today. There's someone that needs to hear that you will never be erased. But 2, also stop erasing yourself. When we go through things in life, we incorporate those patterns and then we do them to ourselves. For example, those of you that were with me through the no sugar challenge and all the stories that came up from that, it's the same thing. We don't know what we've taken and put as belief systems that are now informing our actions from day to day. So not only, like, if you are in a situation and you feel like the memory of you, just you being in existence in a place, feeling invisible, if you're in a work situation, if you're in a relationship, if you're in a friend dynamic, if you're just in some area and environment in your life and you feel invisible, part of that is connected to feeling like you're being erased. And then we take those patterns, and then not just with this, but with everything, and we dig them in further. So my question to you guys, how are you erasing yourselves? And how can you write yourselves in more clearly into your life? One of the things that just came up for me as I'm talking with you guys of how I'm erasing myself is when I get into situations where I feel like I'm not wanted. I have a historic habit, which I've been working on and I don't do as much anymore. But there are still, I think, situations where if I felt triggered enough, I would. I have a habit of making myself small. I'm making myself smaller. So whatever the situation, how it made me feel and how I think that people are erasing me, I just take that and even further, like, shrink down the space in which I existed. So, asking again, in what ways are you erasing yourself in your everyday? Think of it as you're a writer in your life and you're writing your story. How are you erasing your greatness? Ooh, guys. How are you erasing your greatness today? That's the root of my message that I was trying to get to. That's what needed to come out. We all have greatness. How are you erasing your greatness from your own story? How are you allowing others to erase your greatness from your story? How? Why? And how can you change that? If you were in school and this was a paper and you just erased a line about your own greatness, how are you going to write it back in and write it even better than before? One of the things I'm very conscious of now, in speaking to how I would shrink myself from spaces, is I intentionally take up more space. Think about this for a minute. There is enough space to go around for every single person in the world. Why am I making myself small to give others a resource that's equally given to me? Just saying. Okay. So, that is, and let's see if these colors, woo, they kind of did. There's the, I don't know what we would call this, the aurora of the evening. It's got a little pink going on, little sunlight vibes still. That's the question of the day and the message. How are you erasing your own greatness, and how can you write it in and even write it in greater than before? Woo, what a powerful statement. We're losing light, guys. So now we're going to do the affirmations, and we're going to be done for the day. But I love you guys, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. And let me wait for the cards. Number 1, as always, I'm divinely guided and supported. I can ask for help whenever I need it. I humbly ask for help today. Number 2, I love myself deeply, fully, and completely. I think there's deer. I don't think we're going to be able to see him. There's somewhere in the grass. Okay. Well, number 3. I breathe easily and deeply in this sanctuary of bliss, peace, and protection where I powerfully reside. And number 4, I have no worries, no stresses. Everything is being worked out for my ultimate good. I can just be in receiving and in fun and in play through my day. Oh, there's a bunny. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to capture it. Oh, dang it. I did see a bunny, though. I don't know where. Oh, it's there. It's, you can see, guys, it's like way too dark, but it was right in here. It was cute. Sorry, guys. Maybe tomorrow. Number 4, I love myself deeply, fully, and completely. Number 5, miracles and blessings are a common occurrence in my everyday. I love to see them. I desire more. Number 6, anything that I deeply desire is now a part of my present reality. Just a sign. Number 7, what a beautiful, amazing day to be alive. Let's claim today our accomplishments. How we want to be, see, feel, hear, do, show up. I appreciate the fact that we are alive and can co-create this present reality. Number 8, I am empowered and I am freaking powerful. I powerfully show up as a co-creator of my present reality. And anything I deeply desire is now part of my present reality that I'm interacting with. Number 9, brand new day tomorrow. Fresh starts. Let's get it. You don't have to hold on to anything in the past. And the past even includes 30 minutes ago. Or even 10 minutes ago. And 10 for the day. I am full of joy. Joy abounds in my day, and it's overflowing, and I just desire more and to be in grace. That is all for today, guys. One more view. Look at that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the message resonated with you guys. If you have questions, if it did, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know, what are you grateful for? What are you affirming for your day? How are you guys doing? It's been a while since yesterday, but love you guys. I'm excited to talk to you tomorrow, and I hope you have a good night. Bye, guys.